I lost. That's what happened. So now I'm sick. But I only get sick once a year, and it's usually around this time, so get it over with. I'm going to take a nap after this, probably. Hey, Dooney. And yeah, so that's kind of what's happening. So if I'm not as energetic as normal, that's why, because I'm just kind of sick under the weather. But, you know, that's life. So I have hot water with lemon in here to help, you know, get me better. And I slept for like 12 hours last night. Thank you, NyQuil. Hey, everybody. Hey, Jennifer and Jenny and Emily and Maureen and April and Faye, Alice, Marjorie, and Megan, Kimmy. Hey, hey, hey. There's so many of you. So good to see you all. Jocelyn. Hey, hey. I met a very nice Jocelyn yesterday. Ooh, that's still too hot to drink. Do you guys ever do that? You like boil water for like tea, even though that's just lemon and water, and then it's too hot and I set it down and then I completely forget about it. And then I come back and it's cold and you start the process over. I'm like, ooh, thanks for all the likes, you guys. So, anyway, so yesterday, and this is probably the reason why I have succumbed to my illness and my sickness, and all it really is a stuffy nose, but I'm just tired a lot. But yesterday I got the opportunity to work at the, not work, but go to YouTube's first ever women's summit. And it was really cool. I met a lot of great other YouTubers who are doing amazing things online, and it was just really inspirational. And I had this woman, Una King, come and speak. I put her on either my Snapchat or Insta stories, so y'all could look her up because she's just so amazing and so inspirational. So I spent all day yesterday doing that, and I met these amazing women they have a show, I call it a show, but they have a YouTube channel called How to Cake It, where they make cakes. And it sounds so different from what I do, but the women on it are so inspirational and so wonderful. Thanks, Desiree. And so I just had a really, oh, you're at a hockey game, Michaela.
Yeah.
Yay. But I just had a really good time yesterday, and it was really nice, and I think I just gave it my all, hence the sickness that has overcome me. But pray, keep your fingers crossed, do whatever it is, send me good vibes. I'm hoping tomorrow I'll feel better. Thanks, Nikki. Hoping tomorrow I'll feel better because I really wanted to film today because I have videos for my Patreon account, which I'll hop over to here in about 15 minutes to answer some questions over there. I have about 4 videos for that to be filmed. And so if you're on the $20 and above, then you know that your questions are getting answered, and I'm going to film those videos. And then I have a few more for December here, yeah, that are going to come through. Thanks, Desiree. Wow, you're so sweet. You guys are so nice. Thanks, Nikki Fitch. I know Nikki had asked how I was doing and how my Christmas shopping's going. So I'm fighting a cold, but other than that, everything is great. Like no complaints here at all. And I'm actually, oh, Kimmy's sick too. I'm so sorry. But I'm all done. Thanks, Emily O. I'm all done with my Christmas shopping. Yay! And I just sent out my Christmas cards in the mail the other day, and Sean has to finish the ones to his family soon. Hopefully.
What?
He says he's going to do it today. So yeah, everything's coming along fine. Thanks, Jennifer. Hope I feel better soon too. And I'm glad I feel good enough to do this live stream because you guys know me. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And it's like the videos. I never miss a Monday. I never miss a Thursday. Or when I was doing them 5 days a week, you know, I do my best to like make promises and keep them. And so I'm happy that I feel well enough to do that today. Because yesterday at night, I was like, sweet Jesus, somebody, something, help me. No whammies. I need to feel better in the morning. So I'm glad that I feel better enough to do this. And then I'm hoping tomorrow I'll wake up and be like, bing, like a brand new lady, and then I can film all the videos for you guys. And in January, many of you have asked, especially on Patreon, because we reached our first goal on Patreon, which was $1,000 a month. Thanks, Desiree. And that was to get another specialist on the channel. And oh, Michaela, you guys are so generous today, and all the thumbs up. We're almost at 4,000 thumbs up already.
We're gonna hit
Woo, woo, woo.
thumbs up today.
Sean thinks we're gonna hit 30,000. I don't know. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, a lot of you asked about, because we met our first goal of $1,000, which meant I'd have other professionals on the channel, and I put together I guess it's just like a questionnaire for you to fill out, and all of those on Patreon, you said that you really wanted me to have a trauma specialist, and so I filmed with her quite a few weeks ago, and we're going to release those all throughout January. So every Monday for the first 5 weeks of 2017, we're going to have videos with Alexa. She's wonderful. You're going to love her. I'm super excited for you guys to meet her, to hear what she has to say. And she actually really had a good experience. So if you want her on and you have other questions, we can talk about that more. And maybe she'll do us a favor and come on one more time. Okay. So yeah, it's very exciting. And so a lot of you are asking, so it's going to be really cool. And I actually learned a lot myself. Oh, thanks, Discreet Clouds. You guys, all your tips are so sweet. Sorry, I took my Robitussin, but I still have a little cough.
You're on the tuss.
Oh, I am on the tuss. Oh, somebody asked, who's Alexa? It's the trauma specialist that I had, Roxy. It's the trauma specialist that I had come on that she did a bunch of videos with me about a month ago. So that will be super exciting. Okay, so let's get into some questions here. We're over the, oh, thanks, Lauren E. Still a little too hot. Too hot. Okay. Okay, this is a good question from Jenny Mitchell. Says, how can I ask my psychiatrist if I have BPD? The truth is that, oh, thanks, Georgia. She loves my mug. The truth is we can honestly ask it straight up, but borderline personality disorder, which is what BPD stands for, if you want more about it, I have a video about borderline, and you can listen to it and see if it rings true for you. But the truth about it is that if we're worried that we're struggling with something, in order for someone to diagnose a personality disorder, they have to have seen us for a long period of time, because it's important, and long period of time means, let's say 6 months. Let's say maybe a year, because we need to see a pattern of behavior. Remember I talked about in my video what's the difference between bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder, because they're often misdiagnosed. The main difference is that bipolar is episodic, so there's episodes of it that kind of come and go, and BPD it like hangs all the time. It's like a pattern of like perpetual behavior. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you've seen your psychiatrist for a significant portion of time, and then you could honestly just ask, you could say, hey, I was reading this article, or you can even just reference my videos. Be like, hey, I watched this video online where she talked about how they diagnosed borderline personality disorder, and a lot of it rang true to me, and I'm just wondering if you think I have that. And know that borderline traits can also come out of trauma, so those with complex PTSD can look exactly like BPD, and there aren't really any differences between them. It's just where the origin is. Okay, a lot of you have asked about that too, and there's no real differences, but oh yeah, yay, Sienna, you got to be on. It's her first live chat, you guys. You guys are so nice. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Okay, cool, that really helped. I'm glad. So Cross Andrews, I'm not sure what the name is. Oh, thanks, Henry Heron. Said, that's so sweet of you. Says, who can I see for anxiety with driving? To be truthful, CBT therapists, such as myself, who do kind of cognitive behavioral, or even if it's, I don't know if it's like phobia driven, but anybody who does like exposure therapy, which is something I have a video on as well. You can look up exposure therapy, but any kind of behavioral techniques or exposure therapy can really help with anxiety around a certain situation. Like, let's say I'm afraid of heights. Let's say I don't like confined spaces, so getting in an elevator with other people is like, I can't handle it. Using some behavioral techniques can really help with that, and can really slowly get you back to a place where the anxiety is so low and you have all these tools to help manage it. So a therapist is best, because seeing a psychiatrist or something, if they don't do therapy, medication isn't something that is necessary, I don't believe. If your anxiety is happening all the time and you can't even manage anything else because it's so overwhelming, then that's when medication is important. But if you're just driving, it's just driving anxiety, then I think you could see a CBT, a therapist who specializes in CBT and work on it. Okay. Oh, thanks, Jennifer, for popping in the videos and stuff. You guys are so helpful. Okay. Yay. Oh, yeah. Dreed. First time you ever made it to YouNow. Woo, 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 woo. That's so exciting. And sorry, I'm sick. I'm usually much more energetic, much more exciting. But today I'm like, I'm going to need a nap and maybe play Candy Crush for a bit. That's been my go-to, you guys. It's like turn my brain off and zone out. Sean's laughing because it's the truth.
It's the go-to.
It is. It's my go-to of like, too much thinking, time to crush candy.
Whoa, ooh! What the hell is that?
Blundering Tusk. If you have a question, you can let me know and I'll answer. Thank you so much. I'm always amazed by like the little graphics.
I love the graphics.
Do you guys remember when, thank you so much, Blundering Tusk. Yay! If you have a question, let me know. I'll be looking for your name, so I'm happy to answer. That's so nice of you. But do you guys, what was I saying now? I get so distracted. Oh, last week when we had the Coca-Cola, remember? And I forget who it was, had the Coca-Cola spray everywhere and it sprayed the little red things. Do you remember? And I was like, what is this? It's so amazing. So I really loved it. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, and you guys don't forget to capture the moments. You can just click on my face because it just said that. Thanks, Blundering Tusk. That's so generous of you. You're so sweet. If you have questions, like I said, I'm happy to answer them, and I will guest somebody after I go to Patreon and answer some questions. I'll be guesting some of you. Okie dokie. Let's see. So there's so many good questions. Julie says, can you do DBT on your own with a workbook? You technically can. That workbook that I recommend in Amazon, I can probably copy and paste it here into the chat. Just give me 1 second. But you can do that on your own, but it's just so difficult. And I know that sounds bad to say, like, oh, it's just so difficult. You can't do it on your own, because you can do it on your own. It's just that the ideal scenario for DBT, okay, I found the book. I'm going to copy and paste it into the chat. The truth about DBT is that it's really intensive, and a lot of it is homework, and you have to have a group. So the ideal scenario is you see your therapist, and then you have your group, and the groups are like 2 hours plus long, and you work on some techniques together, you get your homework, and you're supposed to go out and practice it and then come back. And so you can technically do it on your own. It's really hard work, so be patient with yourself and know that it can get better, but it's best if we at least have a therapist. Even if they're not doing DBT with us, it's best to at least have a therapist where we can go and talk about what we're working on. Okay? Oh, Wascally Wabbit is here. Salutations as well. We missed you last time, Wascally Wabbit. We had a couple people take over. I want to say Catherine was doing the Be Our Guest. I think it was Catherine. Okay. You guys, it's so cool to see you all. I feel like I get to hang out. This is brightening my sick day. Also, just note to your future selves, if you work for yourself, you actually don't get sick days. It's interesting. Like, I have to cancel all my clients and reschedule, so it's almost sometimes more stressful for me to cancel and have a sick day than to just power through it. So, okay. Oh, it wouldn't let you on until you updated. Oh, interesting. I didn't know YouNow had updates. I guess we'll see if anything fancy's happening. Oh, Blundering Tusk became a fan. So sweet. And I said, if you have a question, let me know. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. If you work for someone else, you can call in sick. It's amazing. Okie dokie. Discrete Clouds says, oh, yay, Emily. She said it picked her day right up. Discrete Clouds says, how stressful/difficult was studying psychology at uni level or college level? Because I want to become a therapist and psychologist. I think with school in general, and I don't know, I'm just going to give you my experience. This isn't based in any scientific fact, like a lot of things. This is just my advice that I would give to like my younger self. There are a couple things to keep in mind. A, school is always stressful, and it always depends on how well you manage your time. I am an extremely organized person, and so I actually really enjoyed school, especially grad school, and didn't really find it that stressful. It was actually so much easier for me than undergrad because it was more what I wanted to learn. Oh, thanks, Katie M. We're so close. Our names are so close. So I didn't find it that stressful because it was stuff I actually wanted to learn about and things that I wanted to actually do in my practice, okay? Thanks, Addie Davis, for all the likes. And so I don't think it's necessarily stressful. But if school is hard for you and already stressful, I would encourage you, before you try to get into the psychology field, to take some time for yourself, better yourself, and see a therapist and get back into that, because taking care of yourself first makes everything else easier. Right? And then also, as a side note, I know I did a video about pros and cons of therapy, and people are like, you can charge $80 an hour or whatever. You don't make any money. You cannot see 40 clients a week at all. And it's really hard to build up a private practice. Almost nobody has a full-time private practice, and that's it. We often work like 3 or 4 jobs at a time, where we work like a day at a hospital, a couple days at a treatment center, a couple days in our private practice. Because it's hard for people to afford to come to therapy that frequently, and it's a lot of hours. For each hour you spend with a client, you spend a lot of hours behind the scenes, like doing research, reading books, getting things together, trying to plan the best movement forward for their treatment plan, all sorts of stuff. And so just keep that in mind. It's a really rewarding job, but there's a lot of work behind the scenes that go on, and you don't actually make that much, so don't take out a ton of student loans to make it happen. I would encourage you to work part-time and do it part-time while you go through school. That's the advice I'd give to my younger self, because I have student loans. I paid for all my own school myself, and I think looking back, I probably wouldn't have done it the way that I did, just because, well, then it led me here. So I don't know. Looking back, it's hard because I like the way things turned out, but I just wish I didn't have as many student loans as I have. So does anybody know anybody, Sally Mae, they can just, erase that shit? That'd be awesome. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm just so congested. One more question. Oh, thanks, Simply Jenna. You guys are so sweet today and so generous. And like I said, I'm so sorry I'm not more energetic. Bringing it up. Okay. Oh, interesting. Tortoise said, try lemsip or hot squash and echinacea. It's natural and it helps you get better quicker. That's really good news. That's a really good idea. Also, I've heard from one of my friends who's a psychiatrist, which has nothing to do with him being a psychiatrist, but oregano oil under your tongue in the morning is supposed to help break up congestion. So I've been doing that, and I do that in like almost all the time anyway, because I think it keeps me from getting sick. Okay, let's see. E.G. Burrows says, hi, I live with my single father and I'm scared to burden him with my problems. I don't cry or show any emotions. How do I allow myself to feel sad? I think a lot of us don't allow ourselves to feel our emotions because they can be really scary. They can feel really overwhelming. I personally don't like the feeling of anger, and that was something that took me a long time to work in therapy to like healthfully express it. Without it being like me holding it in and then exploding somewhere else, you know? And that was kind of like a pattern that I had back in the day. Sean remembers. Mm-hmm. And I think that is something that like it takes time. And so I would encourage you, if you're not showing any emotions, any of you are struggling to express emotions, there are two things I would have you do first. Because talking to someone and expressing them verbally or physically and like being in the room with someone and communicating our emotions is like down the line. That's like, you know, intermediate or expert level emotion expression. The first steps are like doing arts and crafts around that. And I know that sounds stupid, but one of the most beneficial things for myself in therapy, and something I still ask my clients to do, is to either collage or write the word. Like, let's say anger is the one. I'll make it personal. I'll tell you like my process. So like, let's say I write out the word anger on a big piece of butcher paper or white piece of, you know, cardstock or whatever kind of thick paper, and then I write all the other words that come up about it, and it's like a crazy collage of words all around the word, that the emotion, the feeling that I'm really struggling with. And you start doing that more, start journaling about it more, and then find ways to like get it out, whether it's like screaming in your car. If any of you read Hannah's book, I recommended that for her, and she mentioned it in there that she does it sometimes. I was like, yay, Hannah, go Hannah. So finding ways that you can express your anger healthfully and just getting it out. If you enjoy like tennis or racquetball, hitting a ball against a wall or kicking, something physical. I even have clients that like, I tell them to go up against a wall and like push themselves away from it. That can feel really good to like express it out. It just depends on what feels good for you and like what expression of that emotion helps. And I would start there. That's where I would start, because talking to someone about it and saying it out loud and accepting it, those are all steps down the line. Okay? Yeah, racquetball is awesome for that. Oh, Emily's reading the book. Yeah, you guys have to let me know what you think. Oh, Carly's here. Hey, hey, hey. And Pantalina and Emily. Okay. Oh, Emily says she's found this really helpful and she's been doing it once a week and it does help. That's so awesome. That's really great to know. And thanks for the feedback, because these are all things that like I've done myself, or I, you know, try to do with some of my clients. And so, yeah, so it's great to know that they really work. Okay, I'm going to pop over to Patreon. Somebody
drive down the street on their horn.
I don't know. Someone was honking like crazy, you guys.
Holidays, take it easy, buddy.
Okay, so I'm on to Patreon right now, and I have some questions on there, so let's get into one of those. It says, hey, Katie, I've been having a lot of suicidal ideation lately, but it doesn't really seem to bother me anymore. Is that normal, or could it be because I have loads going on at the moment? I'm not really processing anything. I'm not currently seeing a therapist at the moment either, and I'm waiting to see an eating disorder team, so it could be a while before I see them. Should I be concerned with these thoughts or not? And that wasn't a long post. She's like, sorry about the long post. Oh, thanks, Simply Jenna. So suicidal thoughts are, I shouldn't say they're common, because it's not that they're common, but when we struggle with any type of mental illness, I find that at one time or another, especially chronic illness too, I'll throw that in there as well. Any of us who struggle with illness, period, often have times in our lives when we contemplate suicide. Now, it could be passive thoughts where we're not planning to do it, but it definitely is there and it floats along and we think about it and then it goes away. Okay? So that's kind of like the norm for if we're struggling. Now, if, oh, sorry, Carly, it's skipping for her. It's, long posts start with chapter 1. That's so true. Ask me about it. That's really funny. So that's kind of the norm, right? And if those are happening all the time, we do get used to them. And I have many clients throughout my time practicing who will say, yeah, they're still there, you know, but I still don't have any plans but they're always there. And I'm just used to it. That's like their norm, their baseline. And so that portion is completely normal. If that's something that you're having and that's something, yeah, Sean's to help me out here, then that's something that's happening a lot for you, then that's why. Like it's so constant that it becomes norm. However, if you worry that you are a danger to yourself and you are putting together a plan and you have the means to do it, please see someone, please reach out. And I know that they said they're waiting to see another team. I would ask if you can see someone in the interim. I know all healthcare situations are very different. I know that not everybody's, it doesn't always work out the best, but it never hurts to ask. And sometimes, like something I've even said to Sean recently, you know, when you're doing things in life, you don't know if you don't ask. Because if you don't ask, you're not going to get anywhere. And so sometimes just asking makes it potentially possible, right? It brings it into the land of possibilities. Okay, Blundering Tusk, I'm going to make you a guest. Are you ready? I love your little icon, by the way. It looks kind of like an orange or... Hi!
What the fuck's happening?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
What's happening?
Oh, I guested you. Do you have a question?
No, not really. I mean, I was typing something out though, so.
Okay,
Sorry.
if you want to type in a question, I can answer it that way if you prefer to.
Sure, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Alright.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I know a lot of you are like, ooh, they're like, what's happening? Why am I guested already? Oh yeah, of course. I'm happy to answer you, Carissa. So it's, I know he had such great stuff, right? He had the cool headphones and the nice mic. And that's very good gear. Okay, let's answer a few more questions. I'll try to guess someone else. Okay. Okay, this is a good question. Desiree Michelle says, which is better, face-to-face therapy or online therapy? In my opinion, and I think if you asked any mental health professional, they would tell you face-to-face 100% of the time. The only reason that online exists is because treatment in rural areas fucking sucks. And like, for instance, you know, I have a lot of friends and family that live in more rural communities. And oh, thanks, Mary. That's so nice of you.
I have Blundering Tusk question when you need it.
Okay, cool. So anyway, I have a lot of family and friends and people in my life that just live in rural areas and people like you. And a lot of times you'll ask me, you know, do you know anybody in this area? And I'll look and I'll try to find, and there's like nobody. And then I'll look for reviews because I'm like, oh, there's one person, but that's kind of shady, right? There's one person for a whole community. And I'll look and they have shitty reviews and I'm like, ooh. And so online therapy is better when it comes to that. But if you have the option of face-to-face with someone that you have options for face-to-face. I think that's where I'll put it, because if you have different people you could potentially see, then I would try face-to-face first. And if you live in a rural community where there isn't access to a lot of that, then online is better than having a shitty therapist in person. So that's where I would leave it. Okay, what's Blundering Tusk question? Okay, this is the question, you guys ready? It says, I still don't have a question, but I've been mood cycling like mad last month. Suicidal ideations, a plan to in the next month. In truth, I don't know if you've watched my YouTube videos, but I have a couple of videos on creating a safety plan for suicide, because know that you're not alone. Like, a lot of people go through periods like this where we are really having a tough time and our moods feel like they're all over the place. We can feel really hopeless. We can feel like things are never going to get better. And it just leaves us feeling like shit, you know, and it can be terrible. And so I have a video. If you just go onto YouTube and you put in Kati Morton suicide safety plan, it'll come up. I have a ton of other videos about suicide.
I just posted the playlist.
Oh, Sean just posted the playlist. Yeah, and it'll be in the chat. And you can click on that, and there's a lot of different tools and tips in there, because I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that there is hope available. There are people there to help. Like, things are happening that can be positive. And I even put a video out on Thursday where I talked about suicide being a choice or not, and how when we do attempt suicide or think about it, we aren't really able to, oh, thanks, Jennifer, and Emo Man, I saw that too. I know that we're not really able to see the positive things because our ill mind, like our suicidal sick mind, won't let us see that, and it focuses instead on the negative. And so I know that things can feel really shitty and can feel really hopeless, but we have a whole community here to support too. Like, you can look in the comments, everybody is, you know, sending you extra love and support and letting you know that they're there for you. And that's the really cool thing about the community here and about my YouTube channel, because everybody's here to kind of support and get you out of that dark hole, to let you know that you're not alone and that things can and will get better. Okay, so hang in there. And like I said, Sean had posted the playlist, and you can go on YouTube and watch any of my, you know, suicide videos, so you have a better idea of what help's available and how we can get you feeling better. Okay. Okay. How do you block somebody? Somebody just left a ridiculous comment. Okay, I'm gonna guess somebody else. Jennifer A, are you ready? Sorry guys, I'm getting snotty. And then I'm going to answer a few more questions and I'll hop over to Patreon and answer some more over there. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
Good, so good to see your face.
Thanks. Good to see you too. So my question was it's like a kind of like a mini rant and question, and I hate to make the whole thing like I feel like every question has been like about suicide so far. But
That's okay.
what I
Hey,
wanted
it's this time of year.
say, yeah, I know it's a bad time of year for a lot of people. Um, Recently, like I've been having like a lot of like medical problems, like on top of my, regular like PTSD and depression. Sorry, my dog's barking. And recently I was wondering like what was wrong with me, and finally like tests came back and stuff, and I ended up being diagnosed with MS, which is multiple sclerosis. And
Yeah.
it's it's just like my second cousin was diagnosed with it, and like she ended up committing suicide because she didn't want to become like paraplegic or like like not able to take care of herself. And like I don't know, recently it's just been like scaring me, like the outcome of like and reality of like what does happen. And I already struggle with like suicidal thoughts, and I don't want to tell my therapist because like I don't want to be put in the hospital, but it's like I'm just thinking like if that's going to be like my quality of life, like why even like live, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and here's just a couple things. And I think before we go all the way to like my life is going to suck and it's going to be terrible and I'm going to die, because I know that like my brother has MS. So I'll just put that out there. And it was really hard for me to hear when he was diagnosed. And it wasn't, I think it was like I don't know, it wasn't that long ago, maybe like 3 years ago, I guess. But I like cried about it for a long time because I thought what you're thinking. And I went right to that. But the truth of it is actually that there are a bunch of different types of MS, because my aunt then in the last year was diagnosed with it as well. And we were like, sweet Jesus, somebody, why is this happening to our family, you know? But there are a lot of different types, and there are a lot of different ways. Like, for instance, my brother's has not progressed. Like, he still does have episodes when he goes in for his, his checkups where they scan his brain and see what activities happened. He still does have a few episodes, but there's a lot of medication that's halting it right now. And so medication is actually really promising when it comes to MS. And I only know this just because it was my brother. So I started like reading, calling friends, asking about it. And one of my friends actually works for a pharmaceutical company that's doing more research on it. So it is better than just life is shit, I'm going to die. I'm going to lose all, control of myself, essentially. And so I would ask questions at your doctor. I would ask, like, how progressive is the type of MS I have? What is it called? Can you write it down? Because then you can actually read about it, because that was the best thing I did. Because when I first learned that my brother had it, I, like, freaked out. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. Because in my mind, the only MS I'd seen was so progressive, ending in a wheelchair, and then a slow death. And nobody wants that. But that's, from my understanding, that's not where it's at right now. So I would ask some questions and find out more information, because not all is lost. There are plenty of people living healthy, happy lives with MS, and my brother's actually one of them. So, ask more questions, and then let me know what you find out, because maybe I can help. At least I've done my own research on my brother's type, and maybe it's the same. And he's on a medication right now that, like, it hasn't progressed it at all. And he started in the clinical trial, and now it's approved. But yeah, and there are pills versus injections and all sorts of things like that. I think the pills are easier for most people because nobody wants to inject themselves. But yeah, there's a lot of questions. Ask questions and learn first, because not all is lost. You can be happy, healthy, and fine. I promise.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate that. That makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, and keep me posted, because like I said, I think asking questions of your doctor is the best way to go right now, so we can find out more information.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Of course. Feel better. I'm sorry. I know it's terrible. I wish, but it not all is lost, okay?
Thank you.
Bye, Jennifer. Yeah, and I think that, okay, Jessica says I get IV meds for my MS. I think that's like, it's important for people to know that things used to be really bad, but with some diseases nowadays, it's amazing how great it is. And it was really hard for me to hear that my brother, got that diagnosis, and I'd already lost my dad. So I was like, well, I just lost my shit. And that's okay too, right? We can all go through those kinds of phases. And It wasn't until I asked more questions of him and he saw another specialist, because you should see an MS specialist or a neurologist that specializes in MS, and find out more. But there it is hopeful. Okay, it's not all is lost. Okay, and somebody asked, oh, thanks, Emily. Oh, wait, no, Emily says, oh, okay. Love you, Emily. Sorry you couldn't stay for the whole thing. Oh, thanks, Jennifer. That's so sweet of you. I hope that was helpful. Oh, and somebody said dab. Yeah, I said dap when I put that thing on Instagram. That was funny because I've never... Oh, thanks, Erin. So sweet. I never pretended I was cool, you guys. Never. If you were coming here to find out how to be cool, you've come to the wrong place. I'm not cool at all. Never happened. But did anybody know what I'm talking about? I put that on Instagram. Yeah. So I thought it was actually kind of funny. And I actually enjoyed my dorkness level. But I didn't even know what that was. Oops. So, hey, I learned. Oh, you guys think I'm so cool. Thanks. Make me feel better. But, you know, when it comes to, like, pop culture and stuff, I'm not always the best person to ask. Okie dokie. Somebody asked, and it actually just flew by because can't control the scroll all the time. But the question was, is there an anxiety workbook coming soon? And the truth is, yes. I don't know how soon because it actually takes quite a lot of work, but I'm working on it now. And I had ordered some books a long time ago, and then things just got really busy. And I'm sorry, I know I've told you guys that it was going to come, but the cool thing, if you guys haven't had a chance to get on DFTBA, I have those posters that are for sale. They also offer a download option through that too. So it gives me a way to get the books to you in an easier fashion versus you having to try to download it from the site, because I know a lot of you have had trouble with that. And you'd be like, I never got the email, and I try to find it, and I'm like, shit. So I'm working on it, and it'll get better, and I promise the anxiety workbook will be out soon. Thanks, Jacqueline. But yeah, so it takes me just a little while. Yeah, but I'm on it. I'm on it. Okay, I'm going to go to Patreon and answer another question. Okay, this is a good question. Somebody said, my question, they always say don't use their name. I almost just said their name because on YouNow, I just say your name. It said, my question is, my psychiatrist is going on holiday and I have to see someone else for a tiny bit. It wasn't even planned because I originally didn't even need this extra appointment, which is now being added because he could see I was struggling. Okay, so we're having a hard time. I tend to shut down and not open up to new people. Do you have any tips on how I can make the most out of these next appointments? And how do we deal in general with the holiday period when our health teams go on holidays and there are so many new faces everywhere? I think this is a good question because the truth about it, that's always hard for people. It's hard in general, right? Holidays are stressful for everyone. People can be more rude, driving more crazily. There's pressure to spend money. The holidays can be really stressful. I have a bunch of videos coming out, hopefully that will help along those. And ones from last year too are pretty good as well. But so there's a lot of stress anyways. And therapists and psychiatrists and everybody takes vacation, right? It's when we go to see family or family comes over and we don't go into the office. And so you end up seeing our people who fill in. Like I usually have my clients call their psychiatrist or call their other team members while I'm out because, I need a break too so I can keep being a good therapist. And if you're worried about what to say or do or how to make the most of those appointments, I think that if you're having a hard time, just like I always say if you're nervous in a session, to come with a list and maybe hand them the list, like things that you're struggling with, things you want to work on, because sometimes it's easier just to hand it to them and know that they'll go down the line and start working on it with us. It's easier to do that than it sometimes is for us to say it out loud. So that would be one of my first ideas of ways to help you maximize those sessions. And then if you have time, if your therapist or psychiatrist or whoever, in this question in particular, it's a psychiatrist, if they're not out of town yet, you can tell them and sign a little release to let them talk to that person before they see you so that you don't have to repeat yourself. And then maybe they can bring up the things that you're working on and talk about what you're struggling with and kind of in a way help you better get things out of that session and help it continue to keep moving forward. Okay, so that's your second option. And oh yay, okay, bye Simply Jenna. Thank you for being able to pop in. It's so good that you guys can kind of come and go and and come and ask your questions. And I know it's hard on a Saturday sometimes for many of you, but yesterday I had that women's summit for YouTube. But to finish up my question that was from Patreon, so if you do one of those two things, that can really help. And then the third option is truthfully to practice ahead of time. I know that sounds weird, but often when we shut down to new people or we struggle to open up and we're like very closed, it obviously can come from a lot of different things in the past, whether it be like trauma or Sean is having trouble with his chair. He just went all the way down to the ground. Anyway,
What's wrong with me?
he's like, what's wrong with me? But practicing ahead of time to breathe. Oh, thanks, Layla SVU. Practicing breathing techniques, practicing ways to calm yourself down, even closing your eyes and imagining you're there and it's somebody you don't know and you're trying to tell them what you're going through. Just doing things like that can help us be more prepared when we actually show up to the session. Okay, so those are like my 3 tips, but let me know, leave me a message later and let me know how that goes. And that's to the person, obviously, who asked the question. Okay. Oh no, Kimmy, I'm sorry. She's having internet issues. Okay, night-night. I'll see you next time. And I'll still do these once a week. I've actually really been enjoying doing these once a week. Do you guys think that's enough? Do you like them? Is that too much? Oh, okay. I know, control the scroll. Okay. This is a good question from Maureen, and then I'm going to hop over and I'm going to guess someone, okay? Maureen says, how do I know what kind of therapy I need? I stopped seeing my therapist, but she didn't want to give me referral. What? Okay. So, I only stopped because a therapist has to give you referrals. They have to. They're legally bound to. Sean, could you get me a tissue?
Yeah.
I need a tissue.
You got it. Whatever you want.
They have to give you referrals. They're required by law. Or I don't know if it's ethics or legal. Sometimes I get those confused. But either way, they're required and they're supposed to. And so I would, excuse me, pardonnez-moi. I just don't want to snot all over you guys. Okay. Okay, we're back. We're less snotty. Okay, anyway, they have to give you referrals, and I know you guys probably saw the snot on Facebook. I'm sorry. I snotted off to the side, but you guys didn't have to see it. So they have to give you referrals, and then what type of therapist you need all depends on what you're struggling with. So, for instance, and I know this is a hard question. I actually think I have a video about this, about how to find the right therapist for you, but okay, so if you need just behavioral techniques and it's something that you're trying to change about yourself, like I self-injure or I have eating disorder behavior, often CBT, DBT tend to be the best for changing behaviors. That's what it is, okay? If you've suffered an intense trauma, been sexually abused, you're going to want people who specialize in that. And there are trauma therapists like Alexa that you'll see in the videos in January, where she does like somatic experiencing, EMDR. There are a lot of different types of schema therapy. There's a bunch of different types of trauma-based therapy. And you can actually probably Google trauma specialist. But then if you're wanting more intensive, like why does my family fuck me up so much, but nothing really happened, and I just want to talk about it, then you might want like family dynamic, psychodynamic type therapy, where it's like bringing it all full circle from like where you came from to where you are now. And that just gives you kind of an idea. And I hope that that helps a little bit. Obviously I can't do all those therapies. I tend to do CBT and DBT mostly in my practice. Well, thanks, Alyssa. And so, ooh, my ears are plugged. It's just the congestion. So I do those types of therapies, and I know that everybody's gonna be different, but that hopefully gives you a better idea of like what to look for. Oh, thanks, Jacqueline. I'm so glad. She says she loves the videos so much. Okay, thanks, Blundering Test is gonna duck out. Good luck. And I hope my videos were helpful. I hope that those the playlist that was sent was really helpful for you. Know that you're not alone. Okay, we're all here to support. Okay. And Nazanin made a joke. She said, I guess behind the scenes footage means Katie needs to blow her nose on camera. It's so very behind the scenes. I know. I can't help it.
Oh, you should say hi to people on Facebook.
Unless oh, hey, everybody on Facebook. Sorry if you saw me snot. I already told them that, though. They already know. Okay. Let's, oh, thanks, Layla. I saw the funnies that her name has SVU in it, so it cracks me up, because I saw this meme the other day on Tumblr, and it was like when someone says they haven't seen an SVU episode, and it showed Olivia, and she was like, it's just like this GIF over and over, and I was like, that's amazing. You guys, 13,000 likes. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, I'm going to guess somebody else. I know you guys like to guess. Okay, it looks like Jacqueline, who just left a little note. You ready to guess? Hope you have a good connection. We can get you in. Be our guest. Be our guest. Put our service to the test. Anybody else love Beauty and the Beast as a kid? Oh.
Is that going to be a TV show, by the way?
Hi, Jacqueline.
Oops, sorry.
Can you hear me? Oh, are you there? Oh, we're frozen, I think. We'll give it a minute, see if it comes unstuck.
It's cutting out.
Oh, oh, oh. Are you there? Oh, it is frozen. We can try again, Jacqueline. You can oh, oh. Is it working? Are you on Wi-Fi?
She says maybe I can comment my question. Okay.
Okay, yeah. You can comment your question, and then I'll look for it.
I'll look for it, and I'll
Okay.
let you know when I have it.
Okay, Sean is on it.
On to your next guest.
On to the next one. On to the next one. Do. Okay. Pantalina, are you ready? Let's hope you have a good connection too. Are you there? Hi! How's it going?
Is it better or is this better?
Either is fine. I can hear you and I can see you. That's the most important thing.
Hi, finally.
Hi.
I've got a comment on this book first.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I've bought it before I started DBT because you suggested it, and it wasn't effective at all. I couldn't understand anything. But even if when I did start DBT, it's completely different from the notes that we have. So it was confusing as well. But there are a lot of websites online that gives you the actual papers with the examples, so you can study them.
Okay. And it's interesting because Pantalina, if you guys don't know, she's in Cyprus. So it's interesting to hear that.
Now for the therapy.
Oh, you're in Greece. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew that. So it's like there are going to be differentiation between what we teach and learn here and what you teach and learn.
No, because I'm an English speaker, so they give me the handouts in English. So I have not the translated.
Oh, okay. And you didn't find it helpful? It wasn't easy to follow along?
No, different. It's completely different. I mean, there are chapters that are not inside the book.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Okay.
Because I use that one, and then I also have a supplement. I don't have it in here, but it's the workbooks and worksheets version of that.
Yeah, they're online available as well for free. You can find them.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool.
The second stuff is, last week I've ordered your stuff and I'm waiting for them.
Oh, yeah.
The cards, the poster.
You have to tag me so I can see when you get them.
Yes. Okay, and then I have got questions for you. I'm getting admitted on Monday.
You're getting what?
Admitted inpatient.
Okay.
Monday morning. And I'm scared so much.
Have you been in before?
I've been hospitalized before. And it's completely different.
Okay, I was like, I thought you had. Okay.
Yes, I've been, but it was like for a week or so, and it was for like suicidal thoughts. Now it's for bulimia and it's inpatient, and minimum stay is 5 weeks.
Okay, that's good. I know that sounds scary, but as a therapist, I'm like, that's nice at least 5 weeks.
Months, and I will have no contact or internet or nothing, and it scares me so much. And it has a lot of rules as well.
That's normal for eating disorder treatment. That's hard.
The thing is that I've watched your videos that you've done like billion years ago about what to bring. And okay, I was thinking of books. I'm reading a lot of books, but my books are like these. The books that I like are real stories book. Will they allow me to read
memoirs, and that can be helpful. It depends on what you connect with.
Yeah, but they could be triggering.
That's why I don't really recommend them. But everybody's different. Like some people prefer to read,
Yeah, I went and bought this, and it says mindfulness in it. Okay, so the thing is that I've got PTSD as well, and I've slept with people before, like the past 3 months, because it's been horrible. I've slept with people, and I kept waking them up before I was screaming, or I was dissociating in my sleep, or sleepwalking, and I don't know how effective it will be to be with other people in the same room.
It's something that I would talk with them when you are like when you're doing your intake, when you're coming in, because that's really common. I know that it's scary and that it's hard, but like one of my patients I saw when I worked in the eating disorder treatment center, she had a horrible trauma when she was a child, and so she has night terrors, so she'd wake up screaming in the middle of the night. And so for a while we had her in her own room, and then as like she started doing her work and everything, I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks in, then she was able to move into a room with someone else. But as long as you just let them know and we see how it goes, like we let her go for a few days first to see if it was really disruptive and how hard it was for her. And so I would, if you have to share a room, you can see what their options are, because we'd moved her into the group room, which
I know that I will be sharing a room with 2 anorexics, and I don't know how triggering that would be for me, to be honest.
I wouldn't worry so much about it, because that's what treatment's for, because people in life are going to be triggering, but you're going to have to start talking about it, and you're going to have to start processing what that means for you.
Share a bathroom with 50 other people for the word. And one of my biggest triggers for PTSD is bathrooms, public bathrooms, and they know that. And I haven't started therapy with my therapist about that. And I don't.
You have to talk about it.
I did.
You're just gonna have to talk about it.
She laughed and she said, "Well, I will be dressed up as a woman. I will boobs and like how is it called, like hair and act like a woman so I can be with you." And I'm like, I don't trust you. I can't do that. Maybe I wear diapers or something.
Well, take it one thing at a time. Get there, talk to them, let them know what's going on, let them know what your triggers are. But the thing about it is, the great thing about treatment is it's a really isolated area where you get to work on all your shit, right? All the things that bother you, all the things that are hard for you. It's the place to work it out. That's why you're going. And it's not easy.
I won't have any contact with my therapist, and my abandonment issue is sky high. Like,
I know that's normal, but that's how it is, and you'll get through it, and you have people there. So that's what I would focus on. And I know treatment's hard. Like, inpatient's hard. Like, for all of you listening, like, inpatient's really scary, but it's the best work you're gonna do, because it's so, like, that's the great thing about it, is that it's isolated and you don't have interaction with anybody else, and it actually helps you be able to focus and work on the things that are really hard and the things that really are scary, because you don't have the pressures of any other life stressors. It's just being there. Mm-hmm. So keep me posted. When you get out, let me know. I'll still be here. We'll still be here. We're not going anywhere. You're going to be fine. It's totally worth it.
Do you have any suggestions on what to take with me so it can keep me occupied?
I think books, journals, if they allow.
That is the...
Like coloring books, blankets, cozy fuzzy socks.
Am I allowed to take like those kind of stuff, like my blanket, my pillow, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, if they'll let you. You have to just ask them and see what they'll allow. But blanket and pillow, people always brought those things, and cozy clothes, and your journals, and like all of your tools, coloring books, journals. But they'll have a lot of that stuff there. So, or at least ours did. So you just want to bring the things that they won't have, that you want your own thing.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, keep me posted.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, Pantarina. Yeah, coloring books are great, you guys, aren't they? Okay, I'm going to pop over to Patreon really quick and answer a question over there, and then I'm going to do some more in the chat. I'm actually feeling okay, you guys, but my ears are kind of clogged, so if I'm all of a sudden talking louder, that's why.
Is that what's going on?
Am I talking louder?
I thought so. I wasn't sure if it was me or because I'm sitting right next to you. So.
Yeah, no, my ears are plugged.
So Jacqueline, just so you know, she...
Oh, yeah, your
so
question.
She has 2 questions, but I don't see them pop up, so...
Jacqueline, we haven't seen your questions. Sean's looking for them. If you want to send them again, we'll be on the lookout so I can answer those, because I know we couldn't get your... Okay, Basket Wabbit says I'm fine, Sean. I'm not talking loud.
Oh, cool. Good.
But if you have your questions, put them in the chat and Sean will find them. Yar, snot in the ears. What should I do, Yar? Yar's our doctor. Oh, by the way, you guys, I went to my post office.
Oh, yeah, we got to do...
Do you want me to open some packages? I'm going to answer a question, then I'm going to open some packages. Okay. Because Yar's our community doctor. Okay, this is a good question. And someone on Patreon said, how do we get it together? I feel like it's getting harder to keep everything in my life aligned and together. Therapy appointments are completely sporadic for me, so I'm kind of alone when things resurface. I'm struggling with time management and deadlines along with struggles with mental health. How do we get that kind of thing working? I'm asking how to manage time and deadlines with when our mental health is not going well. So, everybody on Patreon was like, this is an amazing question. You have to answer it. And I think that, oh, you send things to my P.O. box. Everybody's asking. You can see it here. This is where you send it. Well, if you're out of the country. If you're in the States, you still send it here. And I'll open all of these packages. I got so many packages. And someone from Patreon's thing came back. So, okay, I got your question, Jacqueline. I'll answer in just a second. Okay, so the question from Patreon was like, how do we get it together? And I know there's a lot of schedules, there's a lot of things going on, there's just a lot of shit happening right now. And if our mental health isn't going well, it makes everything harder. And that, the sucky thing about it is that this is the point when we have to decide what gives. Do we stop doing all the things that we're doing at school or work? That might be where we're at. Because the truth of it is that we can't just keep ignoring our mental health or keep putting things like that off. Those are going to rear their ugly heads and we're going to feel like shit and things are going to be terrible or we're going to have a breakdown. And so I think it's important to see what gives. What can you not do? What can we cut back on now? Because if you're feeling completely overwhelmed and you can't get it together, because we can't always get it together. Are you sick too? He's not. And we can't get it together because we're not giving ourselves enough space and enough time to actually do what we need to do and help ourselves enough. And so those are the times when we have to assess our priorities and what's going on in our life and maybe let go of the things that aren't serving us and that are more stressful than good right now. And we just can't keep up with it. And it doesn't mean that we don't like these things and that we won't come back to doing them. Like, let's say we're doing work and we're also in this choir and then, we also have this club we're a part of or this meetup group or whatever. Go down to the basics like work and home. And I know that those things are probably positive things in your life, but if right now our mental health is bad, then the main focus should be getting more mental health support because that is what allows us to get it together. Okay? I hope that makes sense. And I hope that helps. Okay, everybody's offering up helpful advice. I feel like I wish I could read through these questions or these chats after. Oh, tea. Okay, well, we're doing that. I'm good. And you, I think you actually sent me some stuff here. I'm excited, you guys. Let's open some packages.
We need package opening music.
We do, like.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, this one comes from a fellow Katie. Ooh, that I actually met not too long ago. This is how I open packages, you guys. I just tear them. So make sure you don't send anything too fragile. Ooh, it's from Florida. It's a beer can opener. And it's a magnet. It's so cute.
I like that.
Woo, woo, woo. I hope I didn't drop anything out. Oh, guys, my head is so full of stuff. It hurts to bend down. Oh, you guys, look at these. Look at these. These are perfect for... Ooh, and they're knee-high. Knee-high. Perfect for wintertime. And then I got a nice postcard from Katie. And, yeah, it's really sweet. I'll read her letter and stuff later, and I'll try to post these to Instagram. But I got so much mail today. So much. Okay, now this one came from Australia. I think I might need...
People really like these. So
what is it?
Mail hauls on the radio.
Mail hauls. We could do mail hauls. Maybe that's a separate live stream. It's just mail hauls. We just hang out. I know. I'm waiting to see all your guys' posters. Like I said, I just tear these open. I don't have a certain way that I do it. Okay. Ooh. Oh, look at the cute dog.
Oh, that is a cute dog.
He's so cute. Oh. I love animals, you guys. I can't even help it. I don't try to help it. That's the truth. Okay. Oh, she's... Oh, cute. She wants me to post on Instagram, which I will do to help other people. You guys, our community's so goddamn amazing. Okay, so there's all these little photos. Can you see?
Oh, I love it. Those are really nice.
Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
Look. You
Guess
guys,
what's going on the wall?
look, I know. That's why there's so much art to put up. So many things. And if you want to send your art, you can send it to my P.O. box.
Oh.
It's an envelope.
Should talk about having
You guys.
art on the end of your videos now.
Oh, yeah. They're letters. You guys, okay, this is stationery. This is what I was sent. These are all envelopes. See? Can you see it? Can you see it? I'm channeling Grace Helbig. And then another envelope. And then, so there are all these envelopes. This is an envelope. And then these are the cards. And then she wrote on one of them, on the doggy one. And these are all from Amy. Thank you, Amy. And I'll read her letter in privacy, because it's my letter and I want to read it. Okay, that is really cool. You guys are so talented. So on Monday's videos, if you've noticed, I have a Kenyan Artist of the Week that I showcase. And you've probably seen some of this art over here. Although this pink, what way is it? That pink thing there, right there. Sean's grandma painted that. Isn't that cool? So all of the art that you guys have sent me, I will showcase it if it's okay with you. But you can send it to me at my P.O. box, which I showed the address. I'll show it one more time. Yep. So you can send it there.
Screen grab it.
And then, yeah, screen grab it quick. And then he can feature you on a Monday video as a Kenyan Artist of the Week. Okay. We've got 3 more. Ooh.
Oh, before you open those, you want to you want to do Jackie's question? And then
Oh, yeah,
Jackie's
Jackie,
question,
let me
and
answer
then-
your question real quick. And then I'll open. I'm already tearing, but I'll open. Okay. Okay, Jackie's question is, how do I tell my parents I've been in a depression for a few months? The thought of telling them makes my anxiety skyrocket. I actually have a few videos about how to tell parents about mental illness. And I think and let me know in the comments, you guys chat about this a little bit and let me know if I'm off base and if I need to create a new video, because what has worked, Jacqueline or Jackie, whatever you go by, what's worked for, in my experience, is with parents, they want to know what's happening, but you need to keep it really succinct, because the problem with parents is that if they don't understand it right away, they can get frustrated, they can feel like they're being blamed. So I always encourage my clients to like bullet point it and make it really succinct. Guys, we're number 83 in top broadcasters. Whoop, whoop, 15,000 likes. And so I tell them what it is really quickly. I tell them what help it is that you're going to get and what you need. And then also, if this is any different, what you need from them. Because parents really just, in my opinion, if they're any way involved in your life or any way care about you, they want to know how they can help. And if we don't tell them, I find that they don't do it properly and they end up making things worse. Like I've had moms that like they want to sit down with their child and like force them to eat because they have an eating disorder and I know they need to eat, and that doesn't make it better. And so often just telling them what's going on in the most succinct fashion, telling them what help you're going to get and what you need, and then what you need from them. And that truthfully helps us the most. Now, if we're feeling really anxious about talking to them about it, practice, 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 practice. What? Oh, he was looking at me. I thought something was up. So that's what I recommend, because practicing it makes it less anxiety provoking. Then we feel like we've already done it a million times. And yes, it's going to feel weird, and it's okay. Talking to yourself should feel weird. That, means you don't have any psychosis, and that's a good thing. But practicing it really helps. Okay. And let me know in the comments, you guys, how it's, oh yeah. And April, thank you for putting the video. You guys are so amazing. I wondered, you guys, I heard something rattling in this box.
Just remember you have to, oh yeah.
I think.
Oh my god, what is that thing?
I think it goes on a pen. It's got a little, does it go on a pencil?
It goes on your nose.
Oh, I think it does go on my nose. It's not a good time for this to be on my nose. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not going to wear that.
But that's actually how I feel right now. So it's
Okay,
very true.
Everyone has to screen grab
It's
that.
very
The
true
video.
to myself. It goes on your nose. That's what Lexi said. It goes on your nose. Is this like the red nose thing? Like a...
Operation.
Oh, it was Alexandra. I just saw her name come up. She was the one that was doing the Be Our Guest, Be Our Guest. Oh, Red Nose Day. Oh, okay. Whew. It was, my nose is already having a hard time. This is so cool. It tells me what Red Nose Day is. Do you see it? Can you see it? In Belgium. This is from Belgium. This is so cool. It's a fundraiser. Thanks, Stein. That's so cool. I'm going to read all about this. And then dream big. That might be the Kenyan art next week. I think it might be. This is so cool. Yeah, Red Nose Day. Heyo. I like that mine's like a pirate. He's like, "Arr," which really fits with what's happening in my face right now. Okay. Very tough. Very tough. Okay. Arg. I know. Maureen, arg is right. Oh. Whew. Okay. So that was really cool. Thank you, Stein. And then this is from Jessica. Oh, and it's a letter, so I will read it. Oh, wow. Look how talented. Look at this, you guys. It's like my photo.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. I can literally only color. But hey. Wow, her penmanship is amazing also. Jessica, thank you so much. That's so cool. I may showcase that as Kenyan art. That is amazing. You guys, you're also amazing. I can't get over it. Okay, last package. And I'm going to have to get my scissors.
Skizzers.
Skizzers. So I can open
And
this
you're a
up.
left-hander, so I gotta stay back.
I am left-handed, but you know.
Do they make scissors for lefties?
They do, but I'm actually a right-handed scissor user.
What?
Does anybody else have that problem? Like, I'm left-handed, but I don't do everything lefty because, like, the world isn't made for left-handed people. So we accommodate all of you right-handed people, and I just get used to it. So I actually cannot cut with left-handed scissors. Oh my God, Yar. You guys, I have another one of these up somewhere in that. But look. Isn't that so cool?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Screen grab time.
thanks, Yar. I love these little color things. These are cool. This is a great way to, distract and to calm yourself down. This is so cool. I'm going to read the back, my own privacy. I see there's a squirrel on there, and I love it. Is Yar still on? I think she is. Okay. Oh, a hula minion. A hula minion.
Ooh.
Oh, I was hoping he would show us his moves. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, I've got to pull it out. You guys. Look at that noggin. Look. Look at this. He's so cute. You're so cute. He's so cute. Okay. So there's that. Ooh. I love this stuff, Yara. So this is T2. And she sent me like a year ago. It's like all these different flavors. And it's funny because like I love it and it's amazing. But I had Hannah came over like when we first met, when she first filmed with me like a year or more ago. And she was like, what kind of tea do you have? And I still had some of these. And she was like, these are amazing. And I was like, Yar sent them to me. She's so special. So this is like all little tea bags and stuff. You guys, I have my own, are you ready? My own box of tricks. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, this is so cute. You're so clever. And then there's something else in here. Oh, packaging. Nothing fun inside. I would have pulled this open, Yar. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, you guys, it's Minion gift wrap. Getting a package from Yar is like, it's like better than Christmas. Oh, it's a baby Nutella. We were talking about this on Twitter the other day because it's so tiny. Everything it's just any condiment that you can get in a really small size is just so cute. Oh, you can applaud. I think. Can't you just spin the wheel, or how do you do it, you guys?
I think there's like a free spin thing.
There's a free spin. Oh, it's a Christmas ornament. Look, you guys, and it's a unicorn. Oh,
That's really nice.
this is so cute. You're gonna go on our tree, okay? You're going up. We were actually just debating whether, because we're not gonna be here for Christmas, we're debating whether we would get a tree or whether we would just do like garland and like a wreath on the door. But now we gotta have a tree. It's gotta have a home. Our little unicorn panda. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. It's a squirrel. Do you guys remember how creepy that random squirrel person was? But I didn't want to be mean because who knows, maybe that squirrel guy had some ish. So, but this is so funny. Do you guys remember that? I think that was like my first live stream. Oh, he's so cute, Yar. Thank you. Oh, I love purple. Purple's my favorite color. BT dubs. Oh, a bookmark. Oh, it might make you guys sick, so don't look too much because it's like one of those psychedelic. but it's swimming turtles and all sorts of fishes. I actually do need another book. Somebody gave me a bookmark. It's my name that's laminated. I use that one a lot too. I think it's in the anxiety, one of the anxiety books I'm reading right now. Oh, socks. You got happy socks. Oh, these are so nice. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm gonna wear these to the office, and then when I cross my legs and it shows it, they'll know that I really in like business on top of party in the feet. This is amazing. Okay, pop those down there. And this is the last thing. And then I will answer a few more questions. And then you guys can go on your merry way and have a happy Saturday. Oh, magnets, I think. It's a crawfish. Or it's a lobster. Shit is cray. I love it. It says always give 100% at work. And it says 15% on Monday, 25% Tuesday, 45% on Wednesday, 10% on Thursday, and 5% on Friday. I love it. And the Lazy Girl's Guide to Being a Complete Sloth. Step 1, sleep, then sleep some more. Fact, a wise sloth once said, I'm not lazy, I'm just really enjoying doing nothing. I love this. Do you ever just really enjoy doing nothing? That's like my favorite thing. People are like, what are you going to do this weekend? Do you have any plans? I'm like, no, it's a weekend. I have no plans. Okay. And just one more time for shits and giggles. Because this nose is just... The nose. So that's my box of tricks. So those will all go back in my box of tricks. Yay! Thank you all for sending me stuff. Oh, now my nose is running. I did it to myself, you guys. I did it to myself. It's with the red nose. Does anybody know what that meant? Did you ever remember that rap song? Remember I just told you earlier I'm not cool. Remember that rap song? It was like, shake it like a red nose? Was that the lyrics?
No. Shake it like a Polaroid picture?
No. Shake it like a red nose. Don't make me sing it. Put your snot catcher back on. Thank you so much, Yara. That was so sweet. I think it was perfect that I got it today because she's been telling me for a while. She's like, you got to go to your P.O. box. And then you guys follow me on Snapchat, you know, on Thursday or Wednesday, I ran a bunch of errands, even went right by my P.O. box to the post office to get postage for my Christmas cards and forgot to get my P.O. box stuff. And I got home like later. I was like, oh, shit. So that happens, you know?
Oh, 68 on the broadcast.
Oh, number 68. Shake It Like a Salt Shaker? No, not that song. It was newer than that. Because I know those songs. It was like a red nose, shake it like a, I don't know. Does anybody know what that is? Carly, I'm deferring to you. There's a song, Shake It Like a Red Nose, I think. Okay. Somebody said, what's my job? I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. Thanks for asking. Okay. Let's answer a few more questions on here, and then I'm going to go, I'm probably going to take a nap, but you guys made me feel better. Thank you for coming to hang out. Yay! Oh, Sage. The song is by Sage the Gemini. That's what everybody was saying. Sage the Gemini Red Nose. It is Red Nose. What does that mean? I don't understand. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Red Nose by Sage. Shake it like a margarita mix. I enjoy all of your answers. Okay, Lila says, or Layla, I think it's Lila, says, my therapist moved my sessions to every other week because I can't afford weekly therapy, but I'm in a bad place and I don't know what to do. Help. Okay, there are a couple things we can do. And I don't know if I've done another video. I did a video like way back in the day about getting help when funds are low. And I think it's important to know what options you have. One of those being that you can ask your therapist to lower their rate. And I don't do it for everybody. I probably have, I'm sorry you guys, I'm sick. I probably have 3 clients that don't pay my full rate right now. And for various reasons. Some are students, so when my rates went up, I never increased their rates because I knew that they wouldn't be able to afford it. Others, are like single mothers and it's their child I'm seeing and I know that it's hard. So you can ask them to work on a sliding scale. And I know that based on what my colleagues say, I know that I'm actually more generous than other people. Oh, thanks, Jaden, for all the love. I know that I'm more generous. Like a lot of my colleagues are like, oh, I can't afford to I only lower by like $20. And I'm like, that doesn't really make a difference. Like, cause I know when I saw my therapist, back, not the one I'm seeing now, Jana, but the one I saw, Rebecca, before she retired, she worked with me a lot on that because I was a student and I literally didn't have any money. And so she was really, really generous with me. And so I think that just asking is good, asking for that, looking into groups. Groups can be a much cheaper way to get more support. And then also seeing if there are clinics available in your area that offer things maybe for free or for a lower rate. And I know you maybe don't want to switch therapists, but finding ways to make treatment and help work for you, it can be totally beneficial. And I do have a video back in the day about how to get help when, funds are low. Okay, let's try to guess someone else really quick. Now, you've been waiting a long time, MDP95. Are you ready? It says you've all been waiting a long time. I'm sorry. Are you there? Nope. Nobody's there.
Mabel's back.
Yeah, I saw Mabel in there. I try to go in order, you guys.
Oh.
Kiwi Kira, so that whoever's waited the longest gets to see, gets a chance. So we'll just try to guess some people, and then we'll call it a day. How's that sound? I'll guess some of you. We'll try to get through some. Yeah, I see you, El John. I'll try to get through. I think you're like 3 down in the line. But so far, the other person didn't have anything. No one was there. Hi.
Hi.
Is it
This is my first time
Kiwi?
on.
Kiwi?
Kiwi.
Kiwi? How's it going?
So I wrote my question down because I would forget.
Okay, perfect.
But, so I'm a college student, seeing a therapist out here, and home is like 8 hours away.
Okay.
And so winter is coming up, and I can't see my therapist.
Mm-hmm.
But she said that I could email her, and
Okay.
I'm kind of hesitant to, because it's like, I kind of want to save that for like worst case scenario. So I kind of wanted to know how do I balance like feeling guilty emailing her and like knowing when to email her.
Okay, I think that's a good question too, because I know therapists a lot of times will say, email or text me if you're having a hard time, because we do at some level want to be available, especially if we know it's hard and we won't get to see you for an extended period of time. It's up to you, but my advice would be that if you had a time and a day that you would normally meet once a week, I would email her at that time once a week. I think that's perfectly fine. That's not overstepping your bounds. That's not being like doing too much of the emailing. And I would treat it kind of like a journal where I would say like, these are the things that I would have liked to talk in if we had a session this week, and write down the things that are going on and use it as a way to kind of get it out in the same way you would if you saw her in person. Do you think that would help?
Yeah, I mean, I usually send her daily journals that I do for like the week, every week before our session, and then we kind of talk about that, so I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, I think that could be, so are you still sending those to her even though you're not seeing her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I see her one more time before break.
You what?
I see her one more time before, like, break, and then, so.
I see. So at your next session, I would talk to her about this, like what we're talking about, and I would say, I know you said I can email you before the break, or when we're on the break, and say I was thinking, once a week when we'd normally meet, I would email you about the logs, like the journals, like what we would normally talk about, and be like, does that sound okay? Or I would have a conversation about it so that you know that she said what you're going to do is okay, so you don't second guess yourself or worry that you're emailing too much or saying too much or not enough or any of that. And if you are having a hard time, she's there. If you're struggling, I always tell my clients, if you're really struggling, I want you to do 3 tools. So try your 3 techniques, whether it's like I journaled, I called a friend, and I took a bath. And then I want you to wait 30 minutes, and then you can reach out. That's kind of how I set it up for them. Because sometimes in the moment we're like, oh, I'm doing so terrible, I need to reach out. But if we do a few things and we take a little breathing time, then we can sometimes feel better. Does that sound okay? Yeah, keep me posted. Let me know how your appointment with her goes and, what she says. But I would talk to her just in the way you talk to me and say, I was thinking this, does that sound okay to you? I know that I usually still email you those journals. I would ask if you could still do that because that's probably just part of your treatment. And see what she says.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Keep me posted. You'll get through it. It'll be okay. One thing at a time, right?
Thanks.
Uh-huh. Thanks for being on. It's so cool. Okay. Bailey says, I hate my therapist, so what do I do? You don't go back. I know that sounds...
There you go. It's a good one.
If you don't like them, then truthfully, I was actually just talking at the Women's Summit yesterday to this woman, Jocelyn, about that and about not liking your therapist. I was like, the most important... Oh, no, it wasn't Jocelyn. It was Roxy. Not that you guys care, but that's just for my own. But she was thinking that she would start therapy. She'd never been in it before. She was like, what if I don't like them? And I was like, then don't see them again. And she's like, and I said, no, because the most important thing research-wise, if we want to get nitty-gritty scientific in here, we know that the progress you're going to make in therapy hinges on the fact that you like that therapist and you feel that they get you and listen. If you don't like them, don't feel that they hear you, don't see them again. And I actually have a video coming out soon. Are you subscribed? Are your notifications turned on? Because it's going to be like how to know your therapist is shitty. Don't know if I'm going to call it that, but that's what I mean. You and me, we know what the true name would be. Well, ask whatever. I always want to get nitty gritty scientific. I know, sometimes, Okay, let me guess somebody else. Let's see. And I saw MDP. I saw you said that you just couldn't do it at the end, and that's okay. I understand. It gets kind of stressful. Okay, Alexis Paige Higgins, it's your turn up. And then Eljon, you are next. I know you've been waiting very patiently. We'll see if we can get Alexis on here. And then Mabel, you're next. And then we're going to call it, okay? Because this lady's got to take a nap. Nope, it froze. Nobody. Hello? Hello? Nobody's there. Okay, Eljon, you ready? I know you've been waiting. I hope you have a good connection. Are we here? Are we here? Hey, how's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Just hanging in there,
Oh, I know. I have a cold too. I understand.
It's the worst, man. And I'm always like, I can fight it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
My question is, I have bipolar, and I was diagnosed 5 years ago. And for the first time in those 5 years, I'm actually stable. So I want to do something very different and kind of scary. I'm thinking about going to teach abroad, but I don't know if that is a good idea or if I should not do it, just because of how things have been in the past.
How long have you been stabilized?
Now for about 9 months.
Okay. And how long until you would be going abroad?
I wouldn't go until May.
Oh, okay. I say go for it. Because we usually tell our clients that they need to be stabilized for a year, which sounds like a lot, but it's because we want you to go through all the seasons. I want you to go through all the different stressors and different times. And a year gives us time for like relationship issues, school changes, work changes. You know what I mean? It helps us we go through all these things. And so I always tell my clients, if you've been stabilized for a year, you can do things that you may have wanted to, but your mental illness held you back because it was like, well, I'm just not stabilized. I just can't trust myself to do that right now because I don't know how I will react. I say go for it.
Yeah, because I really want to. It's very scary. I haven't ever felt like I've had the time. I haven't had the stabilization. I've never felt that it was possible, and now I feel like it could be.
Yeah, and it definitely, that's awesome. But that's like all your hard work, right? Sticking with it, trying different medications, trying different things, going through some really shit times. Like you earned it, Now's your time. That's so exciting. take pictures and tag me so I can see where you're going and what you're doing. That's so cool.
Oh, of course. I love you.
Yeah. Aw.
I've been following you since you did videos every single day.
Oh yeah. People ask like, how'd you do that? And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know either, but they were awesome.
It was fun, and I think it's something that I've contemplated going back to. Like, a lot of people do like Vlogtober or some months where they'll do like a ton of videos. I'm like, maybe if we reach like a goal, let's say we're like doing something as a community together, like raising awareness or doing something, I'm like, maybe then I'll go back for a month. I'll do them 5 days a week again.
It was
But
really great when you did.
yeah, and it was better. It allowed me to answer more questions. But then I have live streams now too, so that's a whole nother thing that we didn't used to do as much. So
And live stream is fun. I like it.
they are fun. Okay, good. Well, keep me posted on that. But I say go for it. Do it, honey. I know it's scary, but you have time to prep with your team, with your people, and yeah, go for it. You worked hard. You deserve it.
I'll try. I'll definitely apply to the program. We'll see.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Okay, keep me posted.
I will.
Okay. Bye, honey. Thanks for waiting. Be patient. Okay, let's answer another question. I'm going to guess one more. Mabel's up next. And then, sorry, guys, we can guess next time. Okay. Oh, you love the live streams. Okay, cool. April loves the live streams. Okay, Nabel Princessin, I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm sorry. Says, I have my first group therapy session next week and I'm so scared. Do you have any advice? Greetings from Germany. Oh, Avita saying? Is that a thing?
I think that's why.
Is that goodbye? I mean hello. So, group therapy, first session. And I have a video. Don't I have a video about that, Sean?
What is it?
Group therapy.
Look.
Anyway, yeah, it's almost nap time, Sadie. You are right. But group therapy is amazing because, number one, you don't have to share anything at the first time. I think a lot of times at the first session, you usually will say like who you are and a basic intro and know that you can just listen and get a feel for it and see how well you connect with the therapist running it or therapists, depending on how large the group is, as well as the other people in it. Know that it's going to seem more scary than it really is, and everyone else is just as nervous as you. And if you find yourself wanting to speak up, you can, but it's a great way to hear other people's experiences and not only A, know that we're not alone, but B, glean some amazing tools and tips and tricks from other people who've been through it. It's the same reason that our community is so amazing. Sorry, I got distracted with everybody's German helping. They were trying to help me speak German. I have no history of learning German. My brother speaks German. I do not. But I think that that's the great thing is that it reminds us we're not alone. We get to learn from them and their experiences. And usually in group therapy, kind of like they do in like AA or Al-Anon, is like there's no crosstalk. So people can't like speak up and be like, well, I think you should have done that. That's not okay. And the therapist will step in. And so it gives you a safe place to like talk about what's going on with you so it can lose the power it may have over you and normalize your situation. But yeah, know that you can take it one step at a time. Group therapy is amazing. You guys, we're almost to 20,000 likes. Oh, Matthew B., thank you so much. Boop, boop. Okay. Be our guest. Okay, Mabel, we're going to put you in, and then you guys, then we're almost done. Oh, the sound came back. Yay! Maybe it takes a second. Hi, Mabel. How's it going?
I'm okay.
So how are things going with school and your parents and all of that stuff?
Well, the thing is, I finally saw the therapist we have at school for the first time yesterday.
Okay.
And it went really well. And apparently I was told that since I'm going through the school, I have to have parental consent. And I know you just talked about it, like, already. But the thing is, I'm not comfortable with telling my parents, like, anything. Like, at all. I have no desire to tell them, like, anything.
Yeah, would they, I don't know, it depends on what your school is like. Because some schools you can give parental consent so they can say they consent to you going. However, you can have an agreement with your therapist that before they say anything to your parents or tell them anything about what's going on in therapy, that they have to talk to you first.
I was told that once I get back from winter break, so in the first week of January, I would meet up for the second time, like, informally without my parents. and like they would say like, would I feel comfortable like talking, and I would obviously I would say no, because no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But
Yeah.
like I can't get the therapy unless my parents consent, so I don't know. But like I was told that like, oh, what if you just tell your parents that you're having some stress with school and stuff, and I was like, well, that's the option, but then like my parents are like, they're really nosy people, and they have to know what, like they have to know like the
I
details.
feel like most parents are really nosy people.
Yeah, and so like they would ask, like like they would be like, oh, where are your parents? You can tell us anything, and I'm like, yeah, but not when you're the problem.
Yeah, exactly. And I think before you make any decisions about that, like you could have them consent. I think if they're okay to do that, I would have them do it. But then I would have your conversation with your therapist first before you even continue talking and talking about anything. I would tell them your concerns, and I would say that, I feel that they're the problem, and then telling them is going to make things harder for me. And so if you're not able to keep my confidence, then I don't think I can. And then you can decide whether or not you want to continue.
It's like I really I know I need the help, so I really don't want to continue. I just don't want to have my parents know.
Yeah, it's
I know I need the help.
Yeah, I know, and we talked about that last time. I think was like that getting the help is the most important thing, but you have a right to your privacy too. Like after the age of 13, we can actually get therapy without parental consent, not through schools, obviously, because they have their own rules and stuff. But they may take that into consideration. So I would bring it up. I would talk about all your concerns and find out what it is exactly he or she is going to share with them, and just ask that you always know beforehand. And if she can't agree to that or say that that's what's going to happen, then maybe we look into other options.
Okay.
But we might be surprised. Keep me posted. Because often as a therapist, it's within, I've never worked in a school, and that's why I don't really know what her side of it's going to be. But I know as a therapist, I get to decide what I share with my clients' parents, even if they're really young. And I usually limit it to things that I want the parents to work on with me. Like, I need you to start communicating this way. We were talking, like Mabel and I talked about it yesterday. And so that's how that's the only thing I share. But every therapist is going to be different. So let me know. Let me know what they say, okay?
All right.
We'll be back on next week.
Sure.
Okay, good to see you. Bye, Mabel.
Bye.
I know, 200 viewers. Okay, Sean has a question from Catherine. She says, sorry guys, I'm real stuffed up. Oh.
Slow down.
She says, is it bad that I'm suicidal and I have a plan in place, but no one's really paying attention to it, even my local crisis team? Take yourself to the hospital. It's not bad. I don't like to use terms like bad. Like, it's not bad to be suicidal. That just means things are shitty right now and you can't see a way out and you're feeling really hopeless and no one's taking you seriously. So if you are feeling really bad and you're having a really hard time and your suicidality is like pew through the roof, take yourself to the hospital. Or if there's a way you can express to your crisis team just how hard it all is for you, you could try that again. But I think waiting is scary and bad. And I would reach out to a friend. I would, go to the hospital, tell them you're having a hard time. I would do whatever you can to get the help that you need, because often I find, and this is just my opinion, but I often find when people, like local crisis teams, like people who deal with crises all the time, become kind of numbed out to it, because that's all they deal with is crisis. And so when people are like, oh my God, things are bad, they're like, I heard that like 12 times already today. And I don't mean that to be that crisis teams aren't helpful. I just mean that often when people deal mainly with crises, they don't react in the way that we're hoping. They don't always get us the help that we want because they have like 12 other fires they're trying to put out. And so keep that in mind and know that you may have to scream to be heard, but it doesn't mean that you're any less sick or deserve any less treatment. Okay? Let me see. Somebody said they wanted to hear. I'm going to see if I can find the question. Okay, somebody said, my mom keeps trying to force me to open up to her and it just makes me want to talk less. How can I let her know that I need time? Truth, just tell her. Parents actually respond well when we say, I would love to talk to you, but right now I just need some time to process it. Boom, done, period. Don't talk more. Don't slam the door. Don't scream. Don't lash out. Just say it like that. And if she doesn't hear you, you can be like, please understand, I love you. I want to talk to you, but I need more time. Boom. And like, just don't let the conversations continue. Don't feel like you need to rattle on. Don't feel like you have to talk all the time. It's awesome that she wants to help. It's awesome that she wants to understand, but we don't always feel ready. And so those two things have to come together. And if you let her know that, yes, I would love to talk to you, hopefully, you know, if this is the case, I would love to talk to you. I would love to tell you, and I know that you're trying to help, but right now I just can't talk about it. And when I'm ready, I will come to you. Know that. And just let her know, because then oftentimes they'll kind of back off because they'll know that you will come to them. Okay? Okay, everybody. I am pooped. Too pooped to pop. One more time. We're going to shake it like a red nose. But I will see you all next week. Follow me on Twitter for when this is going to happen. And on Facebook, I usually post as well. And we're doing a thing where we do like a behind-the-scenes live stream on Facebook, so you kind of get both. And if you're wondering what Patreon is, it's a place to support the channel, and I'll be answering you guys' questions probably tomorrow because I'm kind of tired today, but I'll try to get through as many of those questions as I can. I know you've all been very patient with me. I love you all. I'm going to take a nippy nap, and I will see you next time. Bye!